Good morning, good morning. It is January 2018. Last year I talked about the season of the push. Well, this is season of the push part 2. And the reason why I am titling this video that is because some of you, I'm speaking to a particular people and a particular person, not in mind, but somebody who can relate to this. Somebody has sat on their gift, their talent, their purpose, their goal. Somebody felt they pushed last year to do something. God already put something in your spirit. God already confirmed something in you, but you're still sitting down. Why are you sitting down? Why aren't you sharing those things that God has given you with the world? Because when God gives you something, it's not selfish. It's for you to share. It's to be a blessing. It's to help. It's to serve. It's to meet a need. Answer a question to somebody or a nation of people. So I don't know if you need a push from somebody like me, because sometimes we have people around us who are for us, but we don't listen to them because we're too familiar with them. So sometimes we need a stranger to speak into our lives, unfortunately, but sometimes that's how some of us move. Somebody who do not know you, and I guess it's because somebody who don't know you, for you, it speaks more to you like, wow, you don't even really know me. But you feel what I'm feeling in my spirit. You can pick up what I'm going through. You can relate. You can understand. You're not just saying it because you know me. You care about me. So I'm that person today. You need to get up and do what God put in your spirit to do. Whatever passion, goal. I don't know if it's a ministry, a book, a business, a mission, a program, a nonprofit, whatever it is. It's time for you to start doing it, and don't worry about the trajectory of it, because a lot of times we get stuck on worrying about things that we cannot control or that haven't even happened yet. And so that holds a lot of people back. I have experienced that. I've talked to many people who, they worry a lot about the future, and I'm like, this is why you're stuck. You keep worrying about the future. And if you're a person that believes in God, you believe God for the increase. You are leaning and depending on God for the increase. But just get started. I mean, that's what God told me in a lot of things. Just get started. Just do. And I'm not talking about something. I'm talking about something that he already put in my spirit to do. And I'm like sitting and waiting a little bit like, well, is there something else? And God's like, no, I already have given you everything. You have everything you need in your hands to get started. Trust me, I'll give the increase. And I have seen God do that. I have seen God give favor. I have seen God divinely connect me with wonderful individuals where we did something collaboratively. And so I already learned and I know and have experienced God move that way in my life. And so I'm here to tell you, you need to do the same thing. The people will come. It's like somebody starting a ministry. If God called you to start a ministry, you can't sit and say, well, let me wait till I get like 15 people who's interested or whatever, and then no. Because if you're going to be committed into something that God gave you to do when it's that season, you're going to start. If you have to start by yourself, if you have to mop and sweep, whatever you would do in service, you would start by yourself. So many churches we see now, even mega churches, they started with their family in their house, in their basement, somebody's room, somebody's basement, somebody's dining room. I heard so many testimonies of people who started their ministry where it was just them, if they're married, their wife or their husband and their children. And they served in all roles that you will find in the church. They was the usher, they was the greeter, and everything else. So I'm just using that as a good example of that. You can't just sit there and keep worrying about, well, what I don't have and I need all this to get started. Sometimes some of those things do apply, but even that, you have to still put things in motion. You have to be out there seeking. Even the Bible tells us to seek, ask, knock. Those are action words. Seek, ask, and knock. So knocking could be networking, grouping with other people who have similar goals and visions and missions and businesses or whatever it is. I spoke to somebody recently about he wants to write his book, and he's networking with other people who have other authors who have done that, and asking for steps to get there. And everybody doesn't have their hand out for money. And I know sometimes that's discouraging too, because you may just need some simple basic steps and questions, and everybody want to charge you all this fee, because, and I believe sometimes that block our own blessings. I don't know, when we become such a society, we can't even help each other just with little things, where I can give you the answers to that, but you got to call me for a fee, all this stuff that what I'm saying is, yes, if you have a business and some of the things you do, yes, you charge, but not everything. Because those people who you see who may be successful in a certain area, sometimes some of them forget their humble beginnings and how somebody gave them favor, somebody opened up the door. Even a minister, somebody let you preach in their church when somebody else might not have let you. Maybe when your own leader at the time wouldn't allow you or didn't see your gifting, but somebody else did. Lest we forget, where we started from, and we need to remember. And sometimes God gives us those type of experiences where we need to remember and go back, because we have forgotten what manner of man or woman that we are, and he has to remind us and take us back to the old landmark so we can be humble, because we don't want to exalt ourselves, because the word clearly tells us, for those believers, that he who exalts himself shall be humbled by God. And you don't want to be humble, talking about in a not a so good way, but humble yourself and God will exalt you in due time. And so we need to go back, and going back to the basics, is going back to the word, because we need to be reminded of that. So I'm here to remind you to go back to the basics, go back to that thing that's been calling you, and you're eating and you're sleeping and you're dreaming about and you're talking about it. It's in your spirit and you do it all the time. I need you to do that. I need you to step out on faith, and I need you to start walking in your purpose. But more than I need you to do that, I just need you to do that because I want you to be happy. God needs you to do that. If he called you to something, a cause, a mission, something, I'm here to let you know you won't be truly happy unless you're operating on some level in that thing. It don't have to be a full-time thing. It could be something you do on the side. It could be a hobby, something you love to do, and it brings you fulfillment. A lot of times people who maybe have jobs or careers at the end and they're not that happy, a lot of times what brings some contentment and fulfillment is that they're doing something else to balance that out, or to help them feel more fulfilled, because they're still using their talent or their skill or their gift or something on the side, or they're operating in a passion, or they're engaged in activities that they have that bring them joy and happiness. And they're around some great people who have, like minds, same interests. So I just want you to live a more fulfilled and happy and joyous life. Yes, there's going to be moments where you experience that. We all going to experience downs and lows and all of that. But I mean, that don't have to be every day, and I'm just speaking about this a lot because, lately I've been talking to people who feel that way. And when I assess their situation, I'm like, you're not really involved in anything that you love to do. I don't care if it's a sewing class. If sewing makes you feel happy, if it's therapeutic, join a sewing group class or something. I'm just giving a good example. Knitting, whatever it is. People play chess. Whatever it is, do these things. I'm about holistic. So in fulfilling different areas of your life, spiritually, naturally, emotionally. This is what it means to live holistic. If you need to change your diet, and you know that God's been telling you better change your diet because I'm trying to prevent you from developing a disease. God loves you. And he will, if you're listening, if you have an ear to hear, he will let you know something is lacking, something is insufficient. You need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to that. Well, he does that in all areas of our life. Something that, like I said, that's in you, and you're supposed to be doing it. Do it. Do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm here to push you. I'm here to push you. This is the year of the push part 2. I'm going to upload this on my podcast on SoundCloud as well as an audio. And this way you can go back and hear it over and over and over and over again. I'm also going to upload it to my YouTube channel, CherylHoward.GetYourLifeBack or /GetYourLifeBack. So I'm speaking life into somebody. I'm speaking on that dream, that vision, that goal, that purpose. Walk in it, step in it. Look, if you need support, call me. Call me. I will be there for you. I will talk to you. I do free power chats. You can email me at info@CherylHoward.com, CherylYHoward.com, because my middle name is Yolanda. You can give me a call. You'll see my number on my websites. If you need somebody to kind of support you, be there for you. I even have packages where I work with you and I help you bring your dream into fruition. I can get you started. I can get you to a certain point, and then you take off from there. Because as a coach, that's what my job is. It's only to kind of help you. I can put some things into place for you, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And that helps you to feel good and empowered, because you look at the hard work that you put in and commitment. I just come along your side and encourage you and push you, give you some tools, give you some strategies, and encourage you and give you affirmations and things to help build you up, because a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us do have things we want to do, and we do need some time. We need somebody to come into our corner and be our personal cheerleader, and that's what I do that naturally. So look, even in that example, I've turned that into a business of helping other people, because I know what it takes to get pushed and get started, and needed to be encouraging, always having somebody to speak life into you or see who you are inside and speak to that thing, that person in you, that person you need to let out. Another reason why I wrote my book, my first book that became a bestseller, Let Me Out. Those things that are lying dormant in you that need to manifest and need to come out, need to be birthed. And then maybe some of you have something birthed. No, not even birthed. You're carrying something, but it needs to be birthed. You have something that needs to come into fruition. Somebody is waiting on maybe that message you have. Maybe there's a word that you have to speak, and you need to get it out there, because somebody's life is depending on that word. God has given you something that somebody needs to hear, experience, and all of that. A lot of times you don't understand that somebody else's deliverance is in your hands. God has given it to you. Maybe it's a ministry. I don't know. It could be a book. You know how many people told me they was blessed by my book? And it encouraged them. That was the purpose of the book. It wasn't to set out and make millions of dollars. That would have been great and wonderful. However, the goal was to be a blessing to somebody. God will give the increase to all of that. And when I set out to do things, see, when we develop that biblical mindset, that's when I believe a lot of blessings will come that you don't even have to work hard for. That's the favor of God. Because my mindset is, even when I set out to do something to bless somebody, I don't give it to them to look for something back. I do it as unto the Lord. And I just shared that with somebody that I worked with previously, because sometimes God will have you bless people that you really don't like a lot, or they don't like you, or whatever, you're not close to, but it's not about them, it's about Him. And if you are His agent, if you are His representative, if you're saying, God using me, I'm a vessel, I'm an instrument, you really need to understand what that means. And that goes through some testing, and He will process you, okay? But let me tell you, when you have that mindset, it's easy for you to do that. Had to take a little pause for a minute. However, I'm trying to remember where I was, what God's given you favor, and you have that mindset of, I'm doing this as unto the Lord, because it's a service. I'm doing this as unto the Lord. I'm not doing it to get anything back. And I shared this with somebody because I wanted her to understand that you're blocking your own blessings, because you give and you be a blessing to people. You do stuff in one hand, but with the other hand, you take it back by the spirit of gossiping. See, that's a whole another lesson. Another message. You take it back when you do this for this person, but then you brag about it to everybody. Oh, I did this you just took that gift right back. And I don't want anything from a person who does that personally. I don't, because it's not genuine. It's not sincere. I'm like, God, I need you to be hot or cold, not lukewarm, because when you're lukewarm, I don't really know what side you stand on. I don't know if you're cold. I don't know if you're hot. I don't know if you're for me. I don't know if you're against me. So I don't want the lukewarmness attitude or mindset. I need you, at least if you're cold and meaning you're against me or whatever, I know where you stand and I know how to deal with you. But when you lukewarm, that's kind of tricky. There's no definition in it. So, but anyway, just developing a righteous mindset to do things and be obedient to that thing inside of you that God put inside of you. Be obedient. Anyway, I'm going to go inside. I just parked. going into work today. I had to wait a little bit because it was ice, black ice on the ground, and all the schools are closed and shut down. So Cheryl was not driving out there on that stuff at 8 o'clock this morning. But I'm out here now, and things are starting to melt. I am in Virginia. I think it's going to go up to the high 40s or maybe 50 today. Got to look at the weather again. You be safe. Don't forget, I'm pushing you to do what you're supposed to be doing. Use what's in your hands. And that's one thing God told me before I go. I don't worry about what I don't have, or worry about way down the line what I can't control, and not even the money. Just start. God has given you what you need to start something. God will give the increase. I need you to hear that. God will give the increase. God will multiply. God will help you to produce. But start it. Watch God. Believe him. And I want to hear somebody's testimony who's going to hear this message. I don't care if they hear it next year or whatever. But because of this message, you decided to step out and do something intentionally. And you saw God work. You saw God divinely connect you with the right people, being in the right atmosphere, in the right environment at the right time. I'm telling you. And things begin to open up. Don't despise humble beginnings. The Bible says don't despise where there's maybe just you by yourself or two people doing something. If you're doing something collaboratively with someone, just start and do it and believe God for the increase. That's what I had to do, and that's what I continue to do. And yes, sometimes it's scary. Like, oh my God, I don't have, but I don't stay there because I just decided that I can't let fear cripple me to stop me. Majority of the people started something for the first time in fear. That's natural. But don't let that stop you or hinder you. Don't do that. Anyway, have a blessed day. And I will tune in again. Well, not tune in. I'm going to come in and do another broadcast soon. Trying to get back in the rhythm of doing that. My time has just been very consumed with the things that I'm trying to do. And so I don't give myself unrealistic goals. Well, I'm going to come and do a broadcast every day. I'm going to try to, as much as possible, do more live broadcasts because people's been looking for me. And sometimes you don't even know people looking for you. Like, what happened to you? That last broadcast, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, I got to get back into this thing here. But my time has just been very consuming and everything with all of the things that I'm trying to do. So anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Take care, and you have a good, blessed day. Bye-bye.